Hey guys, Eric Dubois with EDP-Beats.com, and today I want to talk about drum racks in Ableton Live and why I make all my drums in drum racks and not each individual track. So let's talk about it. So there's basically two types of producers, right? When it comes to drum making. So you have the producer that likes to play their drums directly on their pads or on their machine or whatever and record that. And there's the producer that likes to drag the kick and have it on an own audio track and then drag a snare and then place it where it's supposed to be, drag the hats, drag this, drag that, and they wind up with 10, 16 tracks of drums. The main reason why I use drum racks is because it keeps my arrangement screen clean. So I only have one track for my drum rack and for all my drums, my kick, my snare, my hats, my percussions, little shouts, any kind of cool little ear candy in there. It just keeps everything neatly in one track, and it doesn't block my screen with 8, 10, or 16 tracks for all kinds of different things. So I like that in that way, just to keep me organized and keep it clean. Also, let's look at Ableton's drum rack right here. The drum rack is basically a second Ableton inside of Ableton. Each individual pad is a different audio track or MIDI track, and you can add in the effects that you want. You can do whatever you want with this. So let me show you real quick. So for example, if I want to add in a kick, so let me go find a kick real quick, any type of kick. Let's just add this one. We'll drag it to our pad. And here I have the audio track for the specific kick. Right? So now I can go ahead and add an EQ if I want. I can add a reverb. I can add a different, I can add an auto filter. I can do whatever I want on this audio track. And I'm not clogging up my screen with a bunch of effects. So if I go on a second pad where the snare is going to be, for example, it's again a whole different audio track for the snare. So I can add all the types of processing that I want, and it just keeps everything easy and clean. Now you might say, okay, you like to sidechain your kick to the other instruments, or you want to be able to take out the audio of a specific part of your drums and use it in a different audio track, and you think you can't do it with drum rack, but you can. So for example, if I open a new audio track, insert audio track, and in the video that I made last week about compression, we talked about sidechain compression and how I like to use the kick from my drums to sidechain compress. So let me show you here with the drum rack, there's absolutely no issue. So here when we have the sidechain on, if I want to go look for my kick, I just hit on the audio from, go to my drum rack, and then right below I have all the different audio tracks from my drum rack. So my kick, my snare, my hats, all the percussion, the ear candy, the cool effects, all that kind of stuff directly from my drum rack. So I can select what I want. I can select also the pre-effects, the post-effects, the post-mixer, if I've compressed or affected it a whole lot. I can choose whatever I want directly here. So it's exactly the same as having 16 individual tracks, but instead you just have it all in one cool little drum rack track that makes everything cleaner, and you can still do the same stuff. So also inside the drum rack, and what I mean by it's its own little DAW inside your DAW, is that you can also have send and receive channels within the drum rack. So what I like to do is usually create, if you click on this little button here, it'll come up your chain portion. All right, you can click here and you'll have your receive channels down here. So what I usually like to do is create a return channel, and then let's go get the same kick that we had before, right? So I have this kick, and what I want to do is I'm going to have an extra return channel that I'm actually going to be calling sidechain. And this is going to be my ghost sidechain track within the drum rack. So whenever I have to, because sometimes the drum racks gets a little full, right? And it gets complicated to find the right channels. It's really easy to find the sidechain channel, which is basically the kick that I'm sending over to this sidechain channel, so that I can sidechain compress or a sidechain an auto filter or do whatever I want with all the other tracks, if that makes any sense. Also, I like to have its own reverb return channel, its own delay return channel only for the drums, so that I can tweak it and have a little bit more fun creatively with the drums using this technique. So that's an awesome tip and an awesome thing that Ableton's drum rack has, is the opportunity and the chance to be able to make return channels and sends within the drum rack. Now also another cool thing about it is that once I've finished the song and once I've made all my drums, I can directly save this drum rack as a new drum rack. So whenever I'm making another beat or another song and I want to use the same drums, I can just go in my folder and grab that drum rack and just throw it in. So for example, if we look in my sample folders, I have a folder called drum racks. So, and these are the drum racks that I liked from different songs. So if I go in, for example, and go pick out the drums from this So High drums, and drag it here, there we go. So here I have my drum rack that I used for my track So High. I have all the drums there that I've used, and I can directly just start jamming again with drums that I like. Now, if you don't use drum rack, you can't do that. Every time that I'm finished with the track, I go ahead and rename the drum rack, save it in my folder like that. I have it if I want to use it again. That's really cool. Those are the reasons why I love to use drum racks, and I just find it crazy simple, crazy easy, and I recommend you guys get in the habit of using drum racks for your drums because it's just a lifesaver, and then you can just save that drum rack and use it another time and switch out the sound super easily. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you have other techniques on how you make your drums, I would love to know it at the bottom of the comments. And yeah, hit a like, hit a subscribe, all that cool stuff that I need to say. And I'll see you guys Wednesday for the next video. So peace, enjoy, and have a great day.